Madam Speaker, this bill is untimely. This bill is onerous in its requirements, and it makes assumptions about the benefits of the incentives. The incentives themselves are offered to the building owners through their utilities, but they're borne by the taxpayers through the general fund. $150 million of taxpayer money will go to this incentive program. So all of us end up paying. It increases costs on all of us. And for what gain?
If we do indeed have a goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions, our policy can't put the cost of that on our business owners, our nonprofits, and our churches. If we do indeed have that goal and we do indeed decide that we need to replace all this infrastructure, it's our job to fund it. So we have to take a look at the things that we're thinking are priorities and fund them.
When the government passes updates to building codes, historically and rightly, they do it prospectively for new buildings. At a minimum, that's what this bill should be doing. But no, instead it goes back. It goes back to people who already built, who are already in compliance, who have already invested under a certain set of expectations. And now the rug is being pulled out from underneath them, Madam Speaker. One of the most important things that we can do as a state government is to make sure that we provide certainty to folks who are trying to operate in our state. That when they make an investment here, when they bring a company here, when they build a building here, what they signed up for, the rules that they followed are the rules that are going to stay in place. They won't be changed in the middle of the game at great expense and at great risk to the continued operation and profitability of their enterprise. We have some old buildings here, Madam Speaker, and people live in them, and it's important they provide our housing. Some folks, some communities don't have the resources to build brand new fancy buildings and skyscrapers like we have in Seattle and Bellevue. Please vote no on this bill. It's not affordable. It's the wrong direction for Washington State.
As we change and put more burdens and responsibilities on people who have been law-abiding citizens and have done what we've asked them to do for the public, because these buildings are commercial buildings. They're providing services that we say we need, we want. And yet, these are not our buildings, Madam Speaker. These are other people that own these buildings, and they need to be respected, and I would ask that you turn this bill down. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
We continue to talk about affordable housing and that being a challenge that we have here in the state. But as we work toward, right now, this implies restrictions and reporting requirements and a variety of different directions on Tier 2 buildings. In addition, multifamily residential. Well, Madam Speaker, what's next in that housing ladder? Single family residential that will be required to adhere to some of these regulations that will absolutely raise the cost of housing and move this affordable line in the sand up. For every $1,000 in the cost of a home, 2,500 Washingtonians lose the ability to have a home.
As we have heard many, many times this session, we are about 250,000 housing units short, Madam Speaker. That's a lot. We need to increase our housing stock by 190,000 units just to get to the mean average of the nation in housing units per capita. That's how short we are. Couple that with the fact that we're expected to get another 1 million residents in the next 10 years. We need to have places for people to live. We talk a lot about homelessness. Part of that's caused by the fact that we don't have affordable housing in this state. This bill is going to make it even more expensive to build housing, which means that less of it will be built. With less of it, we're not going to have those homes for people to live in. The homes we do have are going to go up in cost. This is basic economics. This is why we need to vote this bill down, Madam Speaker. Please vote no.
We know what we have as far as a need for more housing, what the cost to do these housing units are. And when we start to put these burdens on building and the costs rise, we know the outcome. Less units, less supply, the problem continues. Madam Speaker, there's a better way to do this. I know we had some amendments before that could have addressed what we were talking about when it comes to housing in the multifamily arena, these small buildings that are going to be forced to do this. We could do this differently. We could have taken that amendment, Madam Speaker, and it would have maybe helped a little bit to that segment of the marketplace. My concern is these good intended bills, this one, to do these outcomes is going to have a negative effect in the cost to implement this. Over time, we'll see that play out, Madam Speaker, and that is the reason I suggest the body vote no on this bill tonight.